Consider yourself fucking lucky. Living in a society like this wasn't designed for people with...
Some people have a narrator in their heads. I do too. It was something of a shock when I realized not everyone does. How do you live without one? Turns out my narrator transcends the confines of my head. I am fully capable of narrating my life aloud or conduct entire dialogues. I know I have released unto no one entire soliloquies about my life, my day, what I am currently doing, and so on. You'd think that helps with a lot of things, like getting to know what I actually feel, what my thought patterns are. You'd be right to a degree.
You know, the funny thing is that I would hear from people that were very close to me. People just generally like me, and I vibe with everyone. And I would always think that is a good thing. Knowing what I know now, it's not the most ideal thing that you are liked by absolutely everyone. If you have a group of friends from the same circle, let's say, and even then some people may have a problem with you. I've had very different groups of friends. Knowing what I know now about myself, it was most definitely not a good thing that I was being liked by everyone and that I liked everyone, despite the fact that these were completely different people. And that's where we come to having multiple personalities, you know, like the memes like this. I genuinely enjoy a good laugh out of my own disability or my own mental health. I would act differently, talk differently. At the flick of a switch, I could become a different person. And the funny thing is, each time I came home from an event like that, I would come home and I had this feeling of detachment and a feeling that I was not being myself. I had a sense of disgust towards myself, as if I was doing something wrong. Now I know what it was. I wasn't being myself. And even now when I'm talking to you guys, I have to have something ringing in my ears to keep me distracted and not go too deep into my own head and into my own memories, because that would be too triggering. So I have to keep my brain distracted from the memories because they are still in the emotional part of the brain and they are not being stored in the memory part of the brain, making them past events, but no, they are still within the active emotional part of the brain, and they evoke emotions that make my brain think we are reliving the same thing over and over again. And that's called a flashback.
Before I started this series, I wanted to put a comedy twist on living with CPTSD, based on a TikTok trend that has long gone. I researched CPTSD and that cost me a lot. One article after another, one DSM-5 entry after another, one ICD-11 entry after another. I started to realize that how I am experiencing life is just another way for me to cope. Like having different narrating styles.
But people experiencing PTSD already know how that feels. And people who don't have PTSD know the memes. I have this innate feeling of being damaged. And that got me thinking, apart from everything that I've already read on CPTSD, I have come to realization that this is the feeling that I used to have when I was a kid. that I felt damaged or different when I was a kid. And that's when I started to think, to fantasize, to over-fantasize about imaginary situations, about me being someone completely different, about me being someone significant, someone of power, someone of I don't know what else even. And those situations in the past have now come back to me. I mean, the feeling and this kind of sensation came back to me when I heard that there is too much negativity in me, that someone would rather not have a relationship with me, any relationship, right? Because I was too negative and I felt damaged in a way that made me feel bad about myself. Damaged in a way that there's something preventing me from living the life that I would like to live. I have never felt like a normal person, because first of all, where is the fucking benchmark of a normal person? And second of all, a normal person, meaning a person that is not disabled, not neurodivergent, not depressed, and not addicted, not traumatized, and whatever the fuck else.
Many of my responses were and are intertwined with my autism, or with my addiction, or with my depression. And it's impossible to separate the specific threads. They are already part of one big tapestry that is my life. Everything is woven together.
And I am coming to a conclusion that I would really like to want to be happy, and I'm getting to a point where I am almost certain that I want to be happy and not have this much negativity in me. But then again, how am I supposed to stay positive in a world that is completely fucked right to its fucking disgusting core? Don't know how much of the footage was lost, but luckily I disassociated so much that I don't know how much time has passed. Dissociative episodes that I also wanted to cover in this episode.
I said in the previous episode that it's like a tossed salad. It's not. It's like a carefully knit arras. Ugly and beautiful at the same time. That's how I try to look at it. That there is nothing and everything wrong with it at the same time.